there, how you doing? Welcome to your weekly werewolf report in this, the year of the werewolf. Oh boy, it was a week. So buckle in because, oh boy. So I mentioned last week I was going to start the reread of the Howling trilogy by Gary Brandner, and I read the first one this week. So here's the thing. I'm going to go slow because I want to make sure I touch on all of the points I wanted to make here. I read this book in 2 sittings. In the first sitting, I got through about a third of the book. And by the end of this first read, I was livid. I was beside myself with disappointment and anger. Because let me tell you something. I got a big problem with a lot of stuff in the first third of this book, which we'll talk about, as if I wouldn't. But the next day, I sat down to read it, and I couldn't put it down. I could not put it down. I enjoyed the hell out of the second 2/3 of the Howling, the first one. I loved it. I came into it wanting to be gentle. I came into it wanting to like it. And I was so disappointed after that first day's reading when I was so wound up, so angry by some of the things in there. And then I got some things in the second reading that just made so much sense to me. So, full disclosure, there's gonna be spoilers. If you have never read The Howling, if you have never seen any of the movies, then go forward. I'll actually put a card up here. When I'm done talking about the book, I'll put a card up before I start talking about the movies, because I do have to talk about some things there too. So you'll know when I'm done talking. If you haven't read The Howling, please stop. Don't listen to this. I don't want to spoil this for you, but I recommend it. So from here on out, if you haven't read it, stop right now. Just go forward till you find the card. Okay, are they gone? Okay, because we're going to go full spoilers here. If you never read The Howling, but you've seen the movies, I want you to know it's really weird. So the first Howling movie, the one that was directed by Joe Dante, is one of my top 5 favorite werewolf movies. It's amazing. It's great. But it is very, very loosely based on the book. But they changed a lot. The thing is, the ending of this movie actually is closer to the ending in the book than Howling 4. Now, Howling 4 is the one called the original. And this is the one where they tried to stick closer to the book. And even then, some things just aren't the same. But, like, in the first Howling movie, we don't have the character of Inez Polk, which we have in the Howling 4, the original. And she's kind of an interesting character. You miss her in the original, but so much has changed. Like, these 2 movies, even though they derive pieces from the book, they're their own stories. They're kind of their own creatures. Full disclosure, The Howling 4 is a garbage movie. Don't waste your time on it. It's trash. The Joe Dante one, the one from 1981, is wonderful. I wanted to make sure I had my numbers of The Howling right. That's what I was searching for. But the first Howling, the one by Joe Dante, again, one of my top 5s. Love that movie. I love the transformations. I love Dee Wallace in it. I think it's great. The Howling 4, it's from 1988, the original. No. Just no. Okay? Just no. But they are both of them a cobbling of pieces from the book. So, the first third of this book. So we have our characters, Karen and Roy. They're a young married couple, and the book begins with them on their first wedding anniversary. They've been married a year at this point. And Roy has to run out for real quick. He has to go to the office really quick to see to something, but he'll be right back. His best friend Chris is on his way over to celebrate their anniversary with them with drinks, and then they're going to celebrate as a couple later. So he leaves, and while he's gone, Karen is attacked by a man. Now, if you've seen the first movie, we introduce the concept of the werewolf really fast. Werewolves are introduced very fast. It's not so in the book. It's more of a slow introduction, and the werewolves only exist in this mountain town that we get to later. She is attacked by a man, just a regular man, and she suffers a horrible sexual assault. She's pregnant at the time, and he sexually assaults her. He punches her in the stomach, causing her to miscarry and lose the baby, and he bites the inside of her thigh, which gets horribly infected. This is awful. The book fast forwards a bit to 2 months later, where the new problem in Karen's life is she's not getting over this fast enough. She's having sex with Roy every night, and he's getting frustrated with her because she's not getting into it. 2 months later. 2 months after suffering a horrible attack and through violence suffering a miscarriage. 2 months. And she's having sex with her husband every night, and he's getting it. Like, I don't want to say that Gary Brandner is insensitive to the plights of women in this. He very much isn't. He does his best to see things from her point of view. He does his best to see things, like, as time goes on, especially later in the book, he points out she's being patronized, she's being talked down to, she's being gaslit. He doesn't use that language, but he's pointing it out. There is a sensitivity there. But this pressure that Karen is putting on herself, because she can see how frustrated her husband Roy is getting, because she's not getting over this traumatic event fast enough. Oh my God, fuck Roy. 2 months, you guys, 2 months. It gets better. Okay, I promise it does. So again, we're not looking at the movies. This is the book. What happens is Roy wants to get Karen out of Los Angeles. He feels that, this is going to be a short time away. They're not moving away forever, but they take out a 6-month lease on a house in the mountains, California mountains, in a town called Drago. And he fixes the place up. I am being attacked by cat hair on the inside of my glasses. I'm sorry. He fixes the place up. I'm still being attacked. I'm so sorry. He fixes the place up, and I'm sorry. She keeps Karen away while he's fixing it up because she's very about the whole thing. She's not too excited about moving, period. She wasn't excited about the place when she first saw it. So he wants to fix it up and surprise her. And there is an attempt to make Roy a sympathetic character. There is an attempt to make Roy maybe not someone you like fully, but someone who you can go, I see where he's coming from. And for me, they fall flat. I have no doubt that Roy loves his wife, but Roy sucks. He just sucks. And if you've seen the movies, if you've seen either, you know what he does. You know what he does. Fuck Roy. I don't like Roy. But he does this nice thing. He fixes up this cabin really, really nice. He doesn't want her to see it while it's being fixed up. So Karen is a New York girl. She lives in Los Angeles now, but she's a New York girl. And like a lot of New York City people, she doesn't have a driver's license. She doesn't know how to drive. So she has to have Roy's best friend, Chris, drive her out. And she's charmed. Roy made it really nice for her. It is very, very rural, very out there. The place doesn't have, it seems like the place doesn't have a TV, which in the 80s is weird. It doesn't have a phone. You have to go into the town of Drago to use the phone at the general store. But this is supposed to be good for her. This is the rest and relaxation she needs to kind of rest up and get better. And there's a scene when they first get there. You know, they have a really nice night together. Roy makes her this nice dinner. But then he's like, let's go to bed. And Gary Brandner writes this scene where he pulls back the covers and she's looking at the covers and she feels her body seize up because she knows when she gets in bed, Roy is going to have sex with her. And again, I don't think Gary Brandner is at fault for not quite getting the point of view, but he kind of does. Like, he understands that she's suffering. And Roy gets mad. He turns into a pissy shit baby and pouts because she isn't responding the way he wants her to. I'm trying to see all sides, but 2 months. No, that's not enough time. No, like the miscarriage alone, she would probably be under advisement from a doctor not to have sex for 6 weeks from the miscarriage alone. It's, But, so again, big spoiler, there's a life going on. She hears every night she'll be laying in bed because she can't sleep because she's feeling really bad about she's not able to get over this fast enough to please her husband. She's not getting over this as fast as everybody thinks she should. And she's beating herself up because she feels like there's something wrong with her, that she's not getting over this as she should be. So she lays awake at night and she hears the howling. And that phrase, I think it's used beautifully, actually. As a reader and as a writer, I think she heard it, the howling. It's used throughout the book, and I think I like it. What we end up going through is, it's a conspiracy, it's a mystery. We're like 45% through the book before we actually get a werewolf. Before then, it's, I keep hearing things. Oh, you're being silly. It was an owl. Or, she had a little dog and her little dog gets killed. Well, a coyote did it. It didn't sound like a coyote. It was bigger than that. And she's just being patronized and gaslit. And it's ridiculous. It's frustrating, but it's well written. The big thing about this book that I didn't catch the first time around, because I was going through something, because I have a tendency to be dense, I don't know. But I will say, if you've seen the movies, the big gotcha moment of this book is ruined. Because the big gotcha moment of this book is that there isn't a single werewolf in Drago. The whole town is populated with werewolves. And they're, the children, like, there's this town in, is it Hungary? It might be Hungary or Bulgaria. It's an Eastern European country. Well, it'll be in the second book. We're going international in the second book, so I'll tell you then. But it was a town called Dragia, and people never wanted to go there, but then suddenly a shepherd let his sheep eat there, and somebody ate all the sheep. So he went and got his friends, and they tortured and killed all of the people in Dragia because nobody would give up who was the werewolf. They knew it was a werewolf, give up who's the werewolf. They wouldn't give up who the werewolf was. At the end of the book, someone has a realization. They wouldn't give up who the werewolf was because they were all werewolves in Dragia. Oh shit, they're all werewolves in Drago. And that was going to be a big thing. It's a slow realization. You as the reader are given clues throughout where you can, different werewolves are described differently. But you're led to think, oh, maybe it's one or two. But the dawning realization, the introduction of this information of, no, it's the whole town, was supposed to be a big, oh! But if you've seen the movies, you know that it's been ruined for you. And I kind of regret that because it's written perfectly. It's introduced perfectly. And you have the monster aspect. You have the terror of the body change, because you do get, again, we're talking spoilers, Roy becomes a werewolf. You see from his point of view what change is like, what the metabolic changes are, and it's just written so well, and the ending is done so well. So the ending, because she can't drive, and she tries, and she ditches the car in a drainage ditch, Chris comes and gets her. And they don't say it outright, but you can get it. Chris is in love with her. And she calls for him and says, you might want to bring silver bullets. And he doesn't question it. There's a little, well, why would she say that? But if she said I should bring silver bullets, I trust her, I should bring silver bullets. And we go through the process of him acquiring silver bullets, and coming up there and saving her. And it was a good book, you guys, and I'm so glad I did this reread. We still have 2 books to go. I seem to remember by the 3rd book, I was bored of the story, I was bored of the characters, but we'll see. Obviously, I was going through something, because I remember hating the 1st book, but this time around, boy, I have a big appreciation for it. This is a werewolf book. This is what a werewolf book should be, and I regret already knowing that the town, it's not 1 werewolf, it's not 2 werewolves. The whole town is werewolves. The sweet old chatty lady that runs the general store, the patrician doctor that's so kind and helpful, they're all werewolves. They're all in it together. And that whole conspiracy thing is delicious in this. So, yes, read the 1st one. I'll be back next week with the 2nd one. Hopefully we keep up this enthusiasm, because damn it, I was so wrong the 1st time. I really, really liked this book. Okay, card. Movie time. Let's talk about the movies. So the first movie that I watched, it has 2 names. So if you look for it on Tubi, it's under the title High Moon. And it was made in 2019. If you look for it elsewhere, like I wanted to read up on it on IMDb, it's listed under Howlers on IMDb, completely different. But this movie, it's one of those low budget movies where, the creatures don't really look like werewolves. It's just dudes with, contacts and teeth and a little bit of face paint. But I liked this movie. I liked the story. I was really involved with the whole soap opera-y aspect of the human drama that was going on. I was totally invested. I liked the monster aspect. So what this movie is, it's about, okay, let me shorten it for you. Elevator pitch. Gunslinger versus biker werewolves. Come on. It's a little more complicated than that. The gunslinger battled this gang of werewolves back in 1861, and he killed them. And then this mystic interdimensional being then killed him to put him out of his misery, because he's on a revenge quest, and his quest is finished. Now he gets to die. That's his thing. Well, this is in 1861. We're modern day. They've all resurrected, and they're all wreaking their own havoc. The werewolves wake up, and they go and attack this biker gang and assume the mantle of a biker gang. They kill them all, and they take their motorcycles, and they become the biker gang. And the gunslinger is found by a helpful widow, who become smitten with each other, and they have to deal with this kind of hard scrabble sheriff who, he's a good guy, but he's a tough nut, and there's some human drama going on between the sheriff, the sheriff's wife, and the mayor. You can guess what that is. And it was just entertaining. I was into it the whole time. I didn't zone out. I liked this movie. High Moon, 2019, absolute recommend, because it was fun. I don't know if I'd rewatch it, but it was fun. The guy who plays the gunslinger, they got a cutie pie to play him. He's kind of like shades of Dean Winchester a little bit, and I don't know, I liked it. It was fun. Give it a try. So the second movie, fact, Tubi has adult entertainment up there that they edit down. So it's softcore. This movie, you know, the thumbnail on it, it's a werewolf movie. There's a werewolf on the thumbnail. Big werewolf head. I made it about 40 minutes into this movie, and by the time I was on like my third sex scene and there was still no werewolf, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So the problem is, I don't mind a spicy movie. I don't even mind a softcore movie. That's, as long as it still delivers a werewolf. And again, 40 minutes in, we've only got 2 people. It's 2 people who decided to do a romantic weekend in a cabin in England. And, you know, spicy stuff's going to happen on a romantic weekend in a cabin. That's what it's for. But where's the werewolf? We keep getting, there's something out there. There's something in the bushes. And, like, they'll look out of the window and be like, there's something out there. Oh, our elbows touch. We have to have sex. Oh, did you hear that? Something was at the front door. Oh, let's look. Oh, we have to have sex first. And it was just like, this is stupid. I'm sorry, it was stupid. The actress couldn't deliver her lines without shouting them. And the actor was portraying his character as, like, this kind of skulky asshole. They were unlikable, it was boring, it was just a bunch of, like, heavily edited sex and no werewolf. I'm not even going to say the name of it, but I came for the werewolves and I got bamboozled by the sex, by the boring sex. That's the true crime here. It wasn't even good sex. So that happened, yeah. But High Moon or Howlers, wherever it's listed, it's worth your time. It's a fun little movie. And The Howling. Holy shit, I liked it this time around. I kind of expected to come here and be like, I was right. Because look, I'm like everybody else. I want to be right. I wasn't. I liked this movie. I have it all on my Kindle because I was able to get a deal on the trilogy as a pack on there. I think this was years ago, but I think I got a deal for like $3.99 for all 3 books. But now I have to get a physical copy to put on my shelf because it deserves a place. We'll see with the other 2. I'm hopeful, though. I'm hopeful. And now because I'm hopeful, I'm going to be even more mad if they don't work out for me. But that'll be it this week. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for putting up with this. Are any of you doing a read of The Howling? If so, what are you thinking? Are you liking them? Let me know, because I do want to talk about it. But I, like, for real, the first third of that book, damn it, that sucks. Second third, no, it's like a band-aid on the first third. Totally made up for it because it's a great book. Yes, so thank you for always being here. Thank you for watching and commenting and recommending. I appreciate you, and I hope the world is treating you well. And I'll see you next week. Bye.